Hi, you guys. Welcome back to my channel, Spiritual Justice Realm. God is Quita. You can call me Quita. Either one would do. I answer to both. Today, the Most High just wanted me to talk about master healers. Actually, you guys already know I'm a master manifester, but I'm also a master healer. Um, Typically, this is how you know you're a master healer. Most master healers have some kind of background, like autism, bipolar, or it's bipolar and different things like that. But most of the time, you're either born autistic, some form of autism, and some form of bipolar. Um, most master healers are not do not have they can have personality disorders, but they're not born that way. That's through that's not through genetics, that's through environmental, that most of the time that happens. But most of the time when you're born in this world, you're either autistic, bipolar by nature, because autistic people are bipolar by nature. That means they feel the whole spectrum of human emotions on all scales. Like you can feel happy, very extremely happy, very extremely mad, very extremely passionate. It just means you feel things to the extreme, and you know how if you're living in this lifetime, most of the time you know how to balance yourself out, because there's a lot of high functioning bipolar people, high functioning autistic people. And some people are on the lower spectrum. Just know your spectrum. It's just like the God spectrum when it comes down to this autism. It's the same thing. You have your people, the normal people, what they call normal, and then you have your high functioning, and then you have your low functioning. And you need to understand which scale that you fall on. But we're talking more about the high functioning people. Most autistic people do not lie. They, because they're so honest and they feel things to the extreme, it leaves very little room for them to lie. They're very honest. So if you're a very honest person, very caring, you could, like not just feel people's emotions, but actually take them on. Like empaths, if you're empathic, you got to understand narcissists are empaths too, but 9 times out of 10 they were autistic first, and an environment made them have a personality disorder. So that's the enemy coming in to hurt them, or that's either God coming in to test them to see how they're going to type into their to their autistic healing abilities, which is master healer. So in order to be a master healer, you have to overcome a lot of these bipolar, autism. You have to overcome a lot of things in order to unbox that beautiful healing quality within inside yourself. And you have to learn to balance your inner world, even while feeling other people's energy. You have to stay solid. So a lot of times we do go through these situations and circumstances that seem messy or seem like all over the place, but God is really in control of it all, because God is showing you how to stay balanced, even though other people around you, other things around you are not balanced. And that's what's so beautiful about having chakras and having those diamond plates within us, because we can grow those. We can manipulate our diamond essence as need to. And if you need, because we all born in certain energy, if you need less of one and more of the other one, all you have to do is ask. And if you don't know, then all you have to do is ask for balance, and the angels, the Most High, will naturally balance out yourself, or put you in situations where you can figure out how to balance out yourself, depending on how your energy works and what connection you have with the divine. But you need to make sure that you're drinking water, that you're taking care of your skin, and that you're taking care of your that self-love is very necessary. Your body, your fingernails, your toes, your feet, cleansing. I cleanse my feet and hands more than anything, because we use our hands and feet more to connect with people and to touch things and to connect with eating and all that. So I cleanse my hands and my feet at least 5 to 10 times a day. It's just a natural thing that I do. I'm not telling anyone to do it. I just noticed that it helps me balance out. One thing is like cleansing my hands and feet, and even Jesus talked about it being servant when he was talking about cleansing people feet. That was very significant for a lot of different things, but we won't get to in this video, because then it'll make this video even longer. So we'll get into that in another video. But God is saying to the master healers, and it's not very many of us, but we are powerful. God is saying, make sure you're drinking, eating. We have a lot to do with water and moisture. A lot of these things we need to stay grounded. This is how we stay grounded when we're taking care of our skin, our health, our teeth, drinking lots of water, washing our hands and feet as much as you need to. That don't mean you have to go take a shower or get in a bath all the time. Sometimes I have this little container that I make this little mixture, and I just wash my feet, wash my hands, and I maintain that way because I know that my body like water, and when I do it, it makes me feel so good. And I do it for my daughter; it calms her too. Like water therapy calms her down really, very, really well, even if it's just a little bit, even if it's for a short time. I'm learning that the more I do that with her, the more balanced she is. So, and she has autism, and she's very easily to pick up on people, angry energies. She's very easily to pick up on those energies, but she's so young, she doesn't know how to deal with them, but I do. So anyways, water is very necessary, depending on where you're at in the world, and what kind of climate you're in, and depending on, your different form of how I want to put it, of your karmatic part of your disability. I want to put it that way, or your, I shouldn't say disability, of your gift. What part knocks you off balance? What keeps you in balance? What in your gift? Because you have to understand, well, there's great evil, there's great love. So in order to stay balanced, in a balance, you get what I'm saying. You have to cleanse yourself. You have to stay grounded. Lately, I like to be outside. I noticed that, and I'm a people person, but a lot of times I like to be quiet. I like to be, you know what I mean? I like people, don't get me wrong, I love to be around people, but that free time to just have with the divine and just walk and put your feet in the grass and just hear your thoughts and hear God, and not even asking for nothing, but literally just hearing what the universe is telling you to do is very significant to your healing journey, and for you to stay grounded and rooted. Because a lot of times the reason why we're staying grounded and rooted is so that we can hear the Most High, so that we can function and do our soul mission. This is a big part of it too. So a lot of people that's autistic, they are really sponges. They're just overly, they're more gifted, but they have to overcome obstacles too to unlock the more powerful aspects of their gifts. They're very gifted people. Bipolar people have a switch. They can switch it on and off. They can choose not to be happy, but they have to learn what that switch is. They have to know what that trigger is in order not to either tap into it or not. And a lot of bipolar people are geniuses. They're natural geniuses simply because they are bipolar, meaning that they can feel so deeply anger, and that's why they make great poets, great singers, great actors, because they can feel and pick up on energy, so they can embody other people's energy because they're great at feeling. So a lot of people think autistic people are cold, but they're not cold people. They actually suppress their emotions, and then they let it out in an outburst. But once they're learned how to balance out their emotions and learn how to speak up and talk, that's when they overcome their mute stage. Once they overcome their mute stage, then a lot of them have to deal with balancing out their emotions. And a lot of autistic people suppresses their emotions, and this is why you see the outbursts of either anger, crying, or whatever that was bottled up inside them. So people who have autistic kids, they need a way to express themselves, and we just have to find that each one of them is different. So if you're a parent of an autistic child, you just have to find that balance of what that child needs, that particular thing that child needs or want in a particular season that they need in it, to help them to cope with not suppressing their emotions or unsuppressing their emotions, whichever stage you're in. So a lot of times, what I've come a long ways on this journey. As you guys know, I write music, I write raps, I do a lot of creative. I do graphic designs. I have this YouTube channel. I do a lot of different things and put my energy into a lot of different things to release my emotions, to release last season. And that's just the way I process. That's just the way I do things. And a lot of times I get on here and share this information. This is also another form for me of self-love, because if I'm loving myself, then I can love other people, meaning I want to give back. I'm not in this world being a bully. I'm not in this world being miserable because I am. Because if you're miserable on the inside, you're going to be miserable to other people, no matter uh, how you try to suppress it. People with personality disorders and stuff and different things like that, a lot of those type of people have to put on the show because they don't love themselves properly, and it's not by all the time their fault, but it's just by the damage that was done. So when you're out in this world when you're miserable, then you're out in this world being miserable. And see, I have a great thing that I do. If I'm miserable inside, I try to stay away from people until I figure out what's wrong with me, and then I can be around people. Because once I figure it out, then I know I'm not projecting onto other people. But a lot of people don't even know how to that technique. They don't even notice when they are being miserable. So it's a lot of self-awareness needs to go on for a lot of people. So that saying all this is to say, master manifestors and master healers didn't just become master healers and manifestors. Not just you're gifted to you. Yes, we're all gifted, but it's the fact that they know how to unlock certain things and know how to listen to the divine when it comes to certain information and certain things about themselves. They know how to research themselves. They know how to go and talk to spirit. That or some of them innately know how to do these things, and it's just natural to them. And the other aspect that they're trying to heal is not natural, so there is bringing a balance of their purpose in their life. So when you see somebody master manifesting, it may look easy because of the way they're putting it out there, but they went through a lot of hell in order to get anything to unlock these gifts. And I had to go through my twin flame journey when my twin flame didn't give a F about me. This person just loved that I loved them. They didn't care about me. And a lot of times they say that spirits just warn me and told me that this person do care, but this person has been traumatized so badly that this person doesn't know how to treat other human beings. And if it is, it's only with a mask. He only knows how to love with a mask, and that's not true love. And I don't want anybody that don't know how to truly love me. So that's why God gave me a twin partner, and I'm so grateful because when love is reciprocated, it is one of the greatest feelings. When your love is reciprocated, meaning the things that you put into a person, they bring it back and just in a different way. It is beautiful. That's why it's important for you, us master healers and master manifestors, to have partners that are reciprocal. We can't just be in dead end or fake relationships, because we're gonna attract fake, and that's gonna make us miserable. And then we're gonna, since we're master manifestors and master healers, that's gonna put all this fakeness in the world, and that's not what we need. We need people who are going to be real, who are going to be authentic. We're not doing this for publicity. Publicity ain't going to get you nowhere in these days, because we live in an authentic time. This is authentic seasons. It's okay to be authentic. It's been okay to be authentic. It was a trick of the enemy for anybody to think they have to stay in a relationship because of kids or for publicity or for publicity stunts or be a sugar baby. God is my sugar daddy. God is everything I need. I don't have to be in a fake relationship or fake this or that. I don't have to fake love anybody I have ever loved, even if I have never touched you. I have been in 2 long distance relationships that I never had sexual contact with the individuals, but I was faithful and I loved them genuinely. And people think that because I haven't put my private areas on someone that I don't love them romantic. I did, and I stayed faithful to them. And a lot of people are scared. They don't know that exists out here. And I'm a prime example. If I say I love you and I want to be with you, I don't see nobody else. But once you mess over me and you messed up with me, I don't dislike you, but I don't want nothing to do with you. You belong to God, all the way to God. God asked me to do something for you. I'm just gonna tell him I can't. Like, pass that person to somebody else, because that's not my assignment no more. Remember, I learned them lessons, and that's the whole point of a lot of twin flame relationships, a lot of soulmate relationships. Well, soulmate actually come in to help you heal, and twin flames are the ones that make you grow, so they hurt you the most because you love that person the most. My twin flame I love the most out of anybody, and that person hurt me the most. But I had to go through that cycle of hurt in order to grow, because if I hadn't went through what I went through with my twin flame, not giving him the credit but giving the credit to the Almighty God, the Most High, if I hadn't went through those heartbreaks that he did to me, even though we never physically touched each other, then I wouldn't be the person I am, because I didn't need that physical contact from him. That's what God was telling me. It wasn't about him, it was about me. I made it about me. I made it about him, and God made it about me. And that was what was beautiful about my twin flame relationship. And and it's very relevant. I know it seems like it's off key, but it's very relevant, because when you're in twin flame relationships and your twin is not ready and they don't do the work, a lot of people, twin flames are put here to be demonic to them. They're not demonic people, but they're put here to be evil towards the individual, to understand. Me in my situation, God was telling me, I'm too nice, I'm too loving, I'm too kind, I stay too long. And he was showing me all the toxic traits that I thought was good, positive traits, but it wasn't positive for me, because it left me feeling bad and letting people walk all over me and doing different stuff. So I had to understand that I needed to balance that energy out. And I did. And it's beautiful. Turned me into a beautiful person. God, the Most High, did that. I'm not crediting nobody else but me and the Most High God, because that's who did it. You get what I'm saying? The Most High put that situation together. Sometimes your twin flame is there to just grow you through pain, through suffering. They're there to grow you because you have toxicity within yourself and that you need to clear out. And that's not to say that you're a bad person. It's just that you need to unlearn a lot of things that was instilled into you by life, by society, by your mom, by your parent, don't matter who. But God sees all and knows all. But if you don't see God in a situation, then you cannot see what he's doing and where he's taking you. So you have to sometimes understand that God puts you through bad stuff in order to grow you. Those are the growing pains. And I just want to shout out my twin partner. I love you so much. Thank you so much. And I just want to continue on my healing journey. And I've overcome a lot in this situation, being a master healer, being a master manifester. It has taught me a great amount of self-love and self-respect, which I had self-love, but it taught me even greater self-love. I had self-respect. It even taught me greater self-respect. I didn't have no career, how can I put it? No career self-esteem, but now I have great career self-esteem. And that was one of the biggest things that I didn't even know that that was possible for you to have career self-esteem, and it is. It may be not personally that you lack the respect, but through career-wise you did. You know what I'm saying? And God will come and balance out those things within you, and he will use other people to do it. And a lot of things that a lot of people think that I should be embarrassed about, I'm not. A lot of people think that I regret a lot of things that I don't. I don't regret nothing, simply for the fact that God knows all and sees all. And once I'm like, God, why do they want me to regret that? Because a lot of people will send me this Five of Cups energy. They want me to be in this Five of Cups energy. I'm like, God, why? And God is showing me they want you, this is how they see you, but they don't understand what I did within you. And I want you to see you how I see you. And I said, God, how do you see me? And God was like, no, you should not be embarrassed by that. That's life. This is what I was trying to show you. And God showed me that you should never be embarrassed about anything because somebody's done went through what you went through. You get what I'm saying? And it was for your soul ascension, not descension. And don't look at it in a negative way. Once you start looking at negative things in a positive way, it begins to be more positive. And you're like, okay, then it sucked that I had to feel that way at that time, but now I feel great. I'm a better person. I'm more balanced. I can see things clearly. And nobody else can fool me like that. Nobody else can really get that out of me, because this person already did this to me, and I see, and I've grown from that. And that's so beautiful, because a lot of times what they don't teach you in life is about spirituality, is about that self-growth, that self-love. And if they do, they teach it in such a basic way that it does take you being spiritual. And I'm not talking about religious, but spiritual, to even awaken to that side of you, those extensions of you, and understand these are the extensions of you that they keep bottled up. That they don't want you to know that's where your power is. And Yeah, it's such a beautiful feeling to be a master manifestor and a master healer. But in order to become these things, you have to be long suffering. You have to overcome your lower selves and all the demons that was put on you from the time that you were born until the ones that you created yourself. And it's such a beautiful thing because I can admit through everything that I've been through, I always be honest with myself, and that's what have allowed me to grow and be the individual that I am today, is because I never lied to myself. I was never in denial. And if it was denial, it was the common, human stage of denial, like grief or something like that. It was common. It was not like, oh, I'm going to just continue to lie to myself. It's like, oh, okay, believe this happened. And then then acceptance comes. But, and, just grieving relationships and that common part. But other than that, I always have been honest about who I am. I always honest with myself. I don't have to go around screaming it to the world. But I'm like, oh, okay, I'll accept that. Yeah, that did happen to me. That didn't feel good, and that person did do that to me. But why should I feel bad about somebody else's actions? God, what were you trying to teach me? And that's what I start to learn the lessons, and not so much as the pain. And once you take the lessons and leave the pain where it's at, and you could tell your story without being angry. I'm not angry with my twin flame. I'm not angry with nobody. I'm not in competition with nobody. I'm just not it, because it only leads to more misery. And I don't like being miserable. I love to be happy, lighthearted, and just joyous. So that's why I'm easily to forgive people, and I retain the lesson simply because I don't like to be abused and used in a negative way. But I do will learn the lesson, and I will teach it to others so that they can understand a lot of things, what's going on within themselves and what's going on in their lives. So being a master manifester and a master healer requires you to be honest in areas that most people can't be honest about, the things they have done and seen, and they can't be honest about themselves. A lot of people, things happen in people's childhood that they can't be honest and vulnerable about. They just want to allow themselves to be honest and vulnerable, and they never will. A lot of people like to live in their soft note because it's comfortable. You will see a lot of people in pain. You be like, dang, that person don't never learn their lesson. It's because they're comfortable there. Because it's not a lesson to them, it's a lifestyle to them at this point. See, I don't let my lessons become a lifestyle. I let my lifestyles lead me to the lesson that I need to learn so that I can go to the next level. So a lot of people, soft know is a lifestyle for them. And that's okay if that's how they want to live. But you have to understand, being in the South is being in hell. And I don't mean literally in the South as in the context of geography, but in the South as in the context of your lower self. So you guys, I'm out. Peace.